wants to know the truth.
We're going to go to Steve McMahon in just a second, but Steve, I trolled through hundreds of these questions, and I found that some of them are very, very pointed. These are questions that journalists probably wouldn't be able to ask, like this question here. Take a listen.
This is Gavin from sunny Las Vegas. My question is for Senator Clinton. Senator Clinton, I think you would make a great president, but there's a question that deserves to be answered before the end of the primaries because it could affect your ability to run against a strong Republican. Has your husband, Bill Clinton, engaged in adulterous behavior since he's left office? How do you plan to address the issue, whether real or trumped up, by people that would demean your character by trying to imply that your marriage is politically convenient? Thank you.
Steve McMahon, again, you prepped Howard Dean for his 2004 debates. What would you do with a question like that?
Well, I think those are the kind of questions, by the way, that a lot of us in the business refer to as gotcha questions. And there's some risk to the questioner that the question will actually backfire and generate sympathy. I don't know if you recall, there was a debate with Rick Lazio during Senator Clinton's first campaign, and he walked over with a piece of paper and told her that she needed to sign this no tax pledge, and she simply brushed it off, and people thought it was unfair and it was too aggressive. That's exactly the kind of question, however, that a candidate doesn't want to ask because you have to make because you have to make a tough choice. Do you ignore it and say it's an invasion of privacy? Do you pivot to something else, or do you try to answer it? My suspicion is that you ignore it and you pivot to something else.
Yeah, but you know, there is the chance that this is one of those questions where the candidate suddenly says, "Well, it's beginning to get hot in here," because it plays to the central issue, which is her winnability.
Absolutely, John. And you're quite right that no journalist I know of would ask that question of Senator Clinton. And this is the reason that when regular people ask questions, candidates don't like it. Now, let's say the YouTube thing, which I like a lot, has the disadvantage of the questioner asked the question but isn't there present, and the candidate doesn't have to answer it on a four eyes, face-to-face basis, and the questioner doesn't have a chance to follow up.
Right. So, so the candidate can turn that question to their own advantage. But Amy Holmes, how do you fully prep for this debate? Because a lot of these questions, you know, they're murderer's rows, what they're called, where the candidates go through all the tough questions that they could possibly field. And then one of these things on this YouTube debate comes from completely out of left field.
Well, John, that's why it's so dangerous for the candidates, because you can't. You think of the question of, what's the price of milk? When was the last time you pumped your own gas? Gas prices are soaring. Do you even know how much it is per gallon? These are the types of things that there are 101, a million of those types of questions out there that are really directly from the voter who's living real life. And remember, John, these people, they live in a bubble, so they're living in fear of that question that brings them right back down to earth.
Steve McMahon, you have prepped people before. You know all of these candidates. Which one is best equipped to handle a debate format like this?
Well, I personally think that Hillary Clinton is the most experienced and seasoned debater who's been in the toughest situations and probably benefits from that. It's a little bit like asking the field of golfers that includes Tiger Woods and other professionals who's the best golfer. It may be that one golfer has more talent than Tiger Woods, but since he's out there every single day, he benefits from that. I think what Amy just said, though, is really important because I think the candidates are probably banking on the fact that a journalist like you wouldn't let a question like the one we just saw through. So there is still some sense of fairness. It's not exactly like someone standing there asking a face-to-face question, as that questioner in New Hampshire asked Hillary Rodham Clinton when he asked whether or not she was willing to apologize for the war. The far more dangerous question is the one that's unexpected but seems completely fair. Like, how much is a gallon of gas? How much is a loaf of bread? You know, George Bush, President Bush's father, was caught unaware by that grocery store scanner, and that was one of those moments that really damaged him politically. So those are the kinds of things that get these candidates off guard, and you really can't prepare for those.
All right. Oh, well, we'll be taking a look at this and see how the candidates respond, but certainly there are so many questions coming from so many different areas. It's going to be fun to watch. Steve McMahon, Dan Rather, Amy Holmes, thanks again.
John.
Kieran.
Thank you.
We've said all night, we have really no idea if any of these questions that we're looking at this week will actually make it into next Monday's debate. You also have time, by the way, if this is inspiring you, to go ahead and tape a question and get it loaded onto YouTube. But do you really think the powers that be would pick this one?
This here's a two-part question. Pay taxes on my clothes and food. Pay taxes on my place. Pay taxes on my moisturizer. I mean taxes on my weights. Pay taxes on my land.
Maybe. You never know. Next, the questions that tickled the fancy of our Jeannie Mose, and that could mean this will be your only chance to see them on TV.
Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right.
This is not a watered-down version of the internet, or the mobile version of the internet, or the kinda sorta looks like the internet. It's just the internet on your phone.
Each year, thousands of kids find out if they've gotten into college.
It came.
And thousands of parents come to the realization they can't afford it.
You gonna open it? I'm freaking out.
I'm freaking out a little too.
But now there's a smarter way to pay for college. Loan to Learn. Call now to talk with an advisor. We'll show you how to finance your child's college dream without depleting your retirement savings or home equity, so family finances stay intact.
You know, if you don't get in, it's a great school.
See how our easy application process and affordable loans can make all the difference.
Cross your fingers.
And then used during the debate. For one thing, the questions are still streaming in, and you can actually continue to post these questions until July 22nd, the day before. But tonight, Jeannie Mose reveals some entries that you probably won't see debate night, but you definitely don't want to miss right now.
When a professional moderator is not composing the questions tend to be less moderate.
Greetings, I am Bjorn Svensson.
Hey, how's it going? Groucho from Los Angeles?
My question is...
Oh, they have questions, all right.
About aliens.
And this question here is for old John Edwards.
Do you think you're cute? Would you allow us to be married? To each other?
Going for it.
These YouTubers are whispering. They're leering.
Hello, Hillary.
They're whining.
Can you answer my question?
They're eating while they ask.
You never envisioned 52 states.
Imagine addressing potential presidents like this.
Yo, my name is D Wizzle.
CNN and YouTube are asking you to submit videotaped questions each candidate will watch on a monitor built into his or her podium.
I want to know what you think is, I don't know, the greatest invention you've heard of.
Toothpicks and visual aids are encouraged to make a point about health care.
This scar.
One woman flashed her heart surgery scar. This guy waved around a Social Security statement.
But seeing that Social Security is going to be extinct in the near future, why am I still getting these?
That's the kind of serious question CNN honchos probably will choose to include. The ones we're highlighting are what you probably won't see.
Look, CNN will never use that.
There's no such thing as a dress code among those submitting questions for this debate.
I call myself the Anonymous American. Will you, right then and there, sign an executive order?
But these systems do much more than that. They're helping to protect America and all who call America home. Lockheed Martin, we never forget who we're working for.
It fuels our lives and creates the products we depend on. It powers our workforce. It brings us home and gives us warmth. It lets us travel the earth and reach for the sky. Vital for life, too precious to waste. Oil and natural gas. Together, let's use it wisely. Learn more at energytomorrow.org.
Greg, this should get your business going.
Thank you, Bob. Perfect.
With dedicated account managers who understand what you need when you need it, we're there. CDW.
Should a woman over 50 take the same multivitamin as a man? There's a choice. Now there's new One-A-Day Women's 50+ Advantage. The only complete multivitamin with support for breast health and bone strength. Plus more ginkgo for memory and concentration. New from One-A-Day.
Right now, you can log on to eHarmony.com and review your matches all for free. Aren't you curious to see who you're compatible with? eHarmony.com. Log on today.
We continue our countdown to next Monday's CNN YouTube debate. The YouTube community skews fairly young, so what do today's young people really care about? Well, take a look at this.
In recent years,
of course, they were to go work for one of the campaigns. Do you feel a little more empowered knowing that you can put a question on YouTube and have it at least considered for use in a nationally televised debate?
Oh, yes, completely. This has got me, I registered to vote today, actually. This has got me so involved in politics because now I feel like I have a voice. For all these years, I think the reason why the young youth voter turnout hasn't been as high as people would like is because we don't feel like we have a voice. And now I think this will give them a voice.
Well, Lucas, we appreciate your question. Thanks very much for submitting it. It's an interesting story that you've got to tell, one that's repeated across this country. Maybe somebody will actually pick up the torch and give you a little assistance. Lucas Brown Eyes joining us, as well as James Kotecki. Thanks very much. Appreciate you being here. Karen?
Well, by now you can probably see why we're so jazzed about next Monday's debate. So if you are too, then you're ready for our Jackie Schechner and the next step.
So do you know what you want to ask of the presidential candidates? Coming up, I'll show you how to get your question onto YouTube.
So even if you've never YouTubed before, it's easy, and we'll show you how. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
If more kids could afford the college they really want, more of the predictions made about them in high school might come true. Announcing Loan to Learn.
Sending a question directly from your phone. Just shoot your video and then email it. Question accomplished. The final way is the quick capture version on YouTube.com. If you've got a webcam, this is the easiest thing to do. Record yourself talking into the camera, quick capture it, and once you're done, it takes a couple minutes to process, and then it pops up online. It's that easy. In fact, there's only one challenge left. What do you want to ask? And well, that I can't help you with.
Well, one thing that we can tell you is that you can see all 1,000 plus questions on the YouTube website. There is now 1,050 of them. Now, we don't know which ones are going to be used in the debate. It's quite possible that some that you saw tonight will be on the debate. It's possible that they won't be. There is a process. CNN will be choosing which questions are used in next Monday night's debate. It's a highly secretive process that we are not privy to, so we're not giving you or the candidates any information tonight that will give them any kind of indication as to what to prepare for. But, you know, this is the most popular one, so could it be in Monday night? Take a look.
What are your thoughts on a recent poll suggesting that 88% of Californians